Hello and welcome back to probably what you'd call the actual last episode. Although the last one is the last playthrough. But this, as I did with Oblivion, I'm going to do my own personal review. Okay, so I did speak a little bit at the end of the last one about how much I loved it, but I didn't quite go through as much as I wanted to. It's only going to be short. I'm just going to take you through a few things that are, always good and always not so good. Okay, so what have I done there? I hit level 100. I think hitting level 100 as well was quite easy. Like, I popped a few red mercuries. I can imagine, especially towards the end, probably in the bow capital, I kind of stopped picking stuff up. If I could have picked up more, I probably could have. There was a lot of easy, farming areas as well, especially in that last part. You know, if I could just keep respawning. What, 23? I think it was, something like that. Between 20 and 30, anyway. 1,000. Mercury points. You know, you do the 4 that were there, you got 100. Do it 5 times, it's 500k almost anyway. So you could farm. If you were struggling, you could farm. I struggled in areas, which is good. Like, I don't want to clean through. I can't believe how easy the last boss was. Like, using leech was probably the best thing. A couple of other bosses gave me a tough time. And if you just look there, time played, it took me 44 hours. Probably could have done it faster. Maybe. And most definitely I could have spent a lot longer. I could have spent probably another, 5 hours doing stuff. And I'm about to dive in right now and show you one more thing. I'm not going to worry about doing it. I'll tell you what it gives you and just go through a few things. So I'm just a bit concerned. Can I just... here we go. Whoa. I want to be able to jump straight in and not... What are they? A couple of auto saves I made. Come on, let's just casualty reversal. That might be because I died. Let's do it. Let's dive into here, and I can talk whilst we do it. So the ending I got, I think there's 4 endings. I got kind of there's a squeak. The dog Bella, the dog is squeaking a toy right behind me. That's why I keep looking back. So there's 4 endings. I think, obviously, I got the death ending. What I can't tell you is how to get the other endings. I don't know. And I'm not sure how it come to me that I ended with this. So it looks like that we're going to the beginning. Skip that. So it looks like we have started again. Okay, so we couldn't pick up where we left off. So it would be a backup save that you'd need to do. Doesn't matter though. I'm just going to quickly talk to you about a few things that I like and I don't like throughout. So red mercury sprout. What have I started with there? Is that 122,000? As always, usually when you do New Game Plus, isn't it? You start with everything that you had before. Bar the weapons. Oh no, it looks like we picked up the weapons. So we're going to stick this on and run straight ahead with this. I do know talking or fighting or whatever. It wants me to skip around. So I will start with, like I said, I was carrying on with what I was saying. I don't know how to get the other endings. I believe I can show you. I believe I don't have them. So some of the things I did have were 2 rings. Now you can combine them. I didn't even use them, which I was hoping really to go back and use. I didn't use them. I could have, but I was a bit scared to use them, and yeah, so I just stayed away from it just in case I needed them. Because there was quite a lot of handing over. Choose a couple of things which you want from a Souls game and an adventure game. You want it to be able to take you in different directions, and I'm glad it did. Now I'm also missing a chisel, so this is where I'll start finding out whether it be me. So one of the, I'm not going to say negative, but one of the things that I struggled with was piecing together the story for everything. Like, I managed to get all the way to the end and kill everything, or kill the final boss, and get into a level 100. But piecing together different parts of the story, picking the right line to say to lead me somewhere else. I don't know how you choose. Obviously, with 4 endings, you probably have to just go across and pick the other one at another time and know what you've picked. But if you're not recording or remembering what you chose, then that becomes quite difficult. But that's what these games are for, and that's what's so good about them. You can play again and things can happen different. It's not negative. Just if you don't read it, you could end up doing something else. So, for example, the reason I'm saying this is, for example, there's one more chisel. I think it's the cyan feather chisel, maybe, or something. I did have it. Yeah, cyan feather chisel. Now, to get that, what you had to do was go to the avian marsh and fight the grey-haired, long-haired dude. So we had already helped him fight the bow sorcerer, I believe it was, in the water. And then you go back there. I think you go there. You might be able to talk to him. You might be sat on the floor. Well, then at some point later, you can go back and you can actually fight him. I don't know if you kill him, but you can fight him. If you beat him, you get the cyan feather chisel, which then gives you the final temperance acupuncture point, or I think that's what it's called. So, but I could not tell you how I would have known that. Whether I skipped through something. I don't remember skipping through anything. I don't remember seeing his name come up anywhere. But I don't know. Maybe it's just about going back through areas, remembering probably that looks like a boss arena. That might have helped. I'm trying to think of like Wukong and if there was big areas that I could miss. I can't quite remember. That's if I was thinking clearly and thinking, you know what, maybe I should go back there at some point, or every change of something, change of what do we call it, area, then maybe I could have gone back and checked, and then I'd have been caught out. But I just don't know how I'd have figured that out. The other thing, which is a real good thing, which I'll say about the choosing, was the doors, the red doors. You always had 2. I think that was so clever. You have 2 choices. You make one choice, and it sends you. Now, the first 2 actually sent me somewhere. The final one I chosen, the final one I chose sent me through the door, which was fine, obviously. But I don't know what I got from that, and it was sad. Because I must have clearly picked all the others. I'm going to say right, maybe right's the wrong word, because I don't know what would happen. But they probably have something to do with an ending. Because the guy mentioned about the dream, or you can't, once you're in it, something like that. Now, if I'd have picked some others, I don't know what I would have got. I'm guessing the door would have opened, rather than transporting me to somewhere. So that means that the last transport or teleport in fog I missed. That's not a bad thing, because that is then leading you on to play more, to figure out more. the ending I died. There's more endings to live, clearly. There might be, I might have to check through the trophies, but I may have missed some weapons to go and collect. Maybe some armor I didn't buy. So yeah, there's always, and it's all like all these games, but this one especially, like, there's no reason why I wouldn't want to go and play it again. Like, no reason at all. I could go through it again and enjoy it still, knowing that maybe pick this one, pick this thing. Because all I would have to do is go through. I can obviously rewatch what I chose. Go through and pick the opposites all the way through and see what I get. It's what it's trying to make you do. Yeah. I'm going to tell you, though. But I am struggling to find things to say that I think maybe you could improve here. Maybe you could. There's a couple of things I've spoke about throughout. Like, maybe the movement. The dodging. I love the dodging. But I wish there was a jump. Go up. Maybe a bit more. The dodging, the swift dodge like this is cool. That's the one difference I will say to Wukong. I think the dodging was way more quicker because it was more springy, but obviously you're a monkey. So, you know, she might not be capable of doing them backhand spring flip things. But the jump would be so nice. For example, if you can do a plunging attack, so you can fall off a ledge. You can fall off a ledge and do a plunging attack. One of my videos, somewhere in the 30s, I think, in the Avian Marsh, there was constant time where I would go through. I think it was where I was trying to get the despair. I was going through this despair cave. There was a plunging attack ready for me to hit every time, and I reckon I hit it probably 25% of the time. Like, I barely hit it. Like, it was so annoying. So a jump, being able to jump off the edge, it would just make it so much nicer. Like, I'm not even sure. I'm using an Xbox remote right now, and apart from selecting options, I don't think A does anything. So, I don't know, let's have a look, shall we? Maybe I just didn't use it. Action. Sprint. It's not sprint for me, because that's B. So, it's choosing. That means, really, that could probably add a jump. You know, I don't know. You could add a jump. Adding a jump would help with them things, the plunging attacks. There's even, like, so I just scrolled across at these. So the benedictions, these are really cool. Adding different, like, passive or, well, effects there to your weapon is, or your player is cool. But one of them is plunge attacks, which is good, but you can barely hit a plunge attack unless you're coming from up high, I think. So there it is. Increases the potency of plunging attacks. Unless you're using a special ability, probably like I think it's the Empyrean Crash, yeah. Which is this. So unless I'm using that, it doesn't really... I'm not going to use that because it can't plunge. But if there was a jump, then your plunging attacks actually would work all the time. So jumping would help. I can't think of many bad things to say. It's so much fun. And I've told people about it, so you gotta play. It's wicked. Really fun. Like, there's stuff I never even used. I didn't even... So I left with one of these, and I used a few more when I probably shouldn't have. 36 of these collecting the birds. Barely used them. Madness. I was barely getting my madness up when I probably should be. So I'm completing the game, not even using stuff to its ability, like to its maximum potential, which is mad, really. Like, and I'm no pro at playing these. Like, I'm not at all. But I've gone through it with loads, like without using most stuff. So for a positive for me is the amount of stuff you can collect. Use it. Just constantly use it, like over and over again. There is no reason to save because you constantly pick stuff up. Like these, constantly. Every time you meet the dude, he gives you one. Take it. Why not? These, take them. I think I've got a few. So there we go. This, if I was being really picky, maybe an extra. I did think actually it was probably in the first few episodes. I was like, oh, I hope I get more, like more able to carry more things, like a bigger item bag or whatever, or a pendant, extra pendant slot, extra item slots. Spell slots you don't really need. Four's enough. You don't want to keep whizzing through them all. But item slots maybe, or an extra pendant slot. There's literally a square there for an extra pendant spot. You could have something just to test maybe a bit more. Add the increase of throwables. Throwables are really cool in this. The arrows, the pots. So, let us use that as well as the stamina, as well as the, because you can pick blunt or slash extra attack. Maybe it makes it too easy, I don't know, but there is a square there. So, the outfits are super cool. Love the outfits. I didn't even get to wear half of them. Didn't even get to put the panda hat on. You can literally just wear a panda hat. So, I didn't even wear half of it. Cleric robes. But yeah, just run around with a panda hat. Really cool. The bamboo thing's really cool. Now, the best things. The fighting in this, I think, is unbelievable. Like, the disciplines, really cool. You don't get to use them all. You can only pick, I think you can only change one of your disciplines. One of them's set. So each weapon's set with its own discipline. As you can see up there, look, I think we are at, must be the blank kick. Maybe. Yeah, so Empyrean Crash always stays, and then I can change it. So I've changed it to Whirlwind, which I barely used. But you can change the disciplines and have that extra little bit of power. Show you here as well. What I will do, I'll go into the fight with the thing. This is really cool. Level 101. Let me just show you the cyan feather chisel that I missed. It's down here, look. That's where you get it with the guy at the Avian Marsh. Like that. Really like this. I love that you can just change it. So I could bin all this off right now. Like this. Reset 9. I've got 12 points to use there. And I can just use them on something else. So easy. There is no reason for you to not just have a blast at any weapon. I think I started with a spear. I really liked the spear, but then I stopped being good at using it. So then I used the long sword. I think they were really good, but I felt like it wasn't getting enough damage. Changed to the axe. I could just constantly reset, and that was so good. The needle's really good. Leech is one of the greatest things in this game. Like, just taking health whilst you're killing, and that saved my ass so many times. But yeah, it's so fun. And we'll go into a little fight so I can show a few things. We'll fight. I think once we've gone into this dream, which we should be able to do now, we can fight. So the spells to the left, there is different ways. You can hold triangle if you look in the bottom left, and it gives you a button to press. So if you want to use that, really good. If you want to just slide it and pick and just tap triangle at that time, you can do that. It's amazing. The layout, the setup, so quick and so easy. I'm super impressed. And like I say, it's just super fun. I've got yeah, that there. I'm gonna fight this guy and I'm just gonna put as much stuff on possible, and let's just, I don't even know if it's going to be easy or hard, but we'll try. We'll have a blast with it. Do our last fight before we wrap up, and I just want to go through a few fighting things. So this is the guy that we actually saw, I think, at the end. He told us about the dream. I thought he said something about a door. Must have been the final boss door, but I thought that he would let us come back here, which would have been really cool. Don't know if there's a way where you can come back here and fight. But we'll go through some fighting right now. We'll see if I'm any good. Dodging is good. You get the dodging, build up might. Amazing. All the mechanics of the fighting, the dodging, are just crazy.
The belt pinwheel.
Now I can pop these, look. Don't know what he's saying. I'm just gonna pop it all. Go crazy. So, some smacks. Just hitting him with leech. We'll see what this does, shall we? Because there's a little crying bit, and then. So here's our leech. We're dressed as a panda. I don't know what the damage is going to be like. It's New Game Plus, so it might whoop my ass. Might not. So if we go Imperial Crash, look, that's a plunge. But I don't know if that is a plunge with... Like, I don't know if it counts as a plunge attack. It would be cool if it does. I don't think it does. We'll find out what happens, shall we? I think we should. To use some of these cool spells. So this spell I'm about to use right now is one of the greatest spells I've ever seen in a game. This Bow Magus bubble is just crazy. Let's finish off with this whirlwind, shall we? Should kill it. There we go. So it's just quick to just use all of these. It's left side, right side to fight. Special moves. Cool. The damage is crazy. The spells are easy. So I was flicking through the spells then just by pressing left on the D-pad. Easy. I didn't have to hold triangle and do those, which I was doing at the start. I was doing that when I first started playing. But I didn't really need to. I could just flick across and press triangle. But the fighting, honestly, it's amazing. Best fighting, I think. Especially coming into something new where just hold this, break through, whatever. It's the I've never hopped into something like this and gone, not that it's just not just so easy to deal with, but easy to handle, easy to get special hits. I just love it. I cannot fault this. Like for fighting, not at all. So yeah, that's my own personal review. I genuinely think it's wicked and I think you should play it. It gives you an opportunity to play it more times. And there's bosses that that are annoying, and there's probably a way to do it. For example, I think the one that's kind of, well, I started using the corruption beam or shot like I was just using in that boss then, and it was bursting the bubble. I changed one to an axe for one of the Honglan commanders, which made it a lot easier. So you can keep picking and choosing and moving between things, and that's the beauty of it. Like, it's still fun even when you're losing, because there's a way that you can just change a few things and have a go at something new. You learn their skill sets, you learn how to dodge them, and it's doable. Like, and I think the last boss kind of summed it up. Like, well, you know what? I made a comment every time I was fighting a boss and was losing, and at one of the videos I said, "I'll beat it next go, I guarantee." Like a first go. It was in the next video. Beat it first go. Went to the next one of the demons or something. One with the big sun. I was like, I'll beat it first try. Right. You can get it. After I probably lost 5 times, it's like, oh, you all of a sudden just can get it. So anybody can play. So I highly recommend. I think it's wicked. I think picking and choosing. Outfits are cool. Pendants are cool. Spells are really cool. You can learn special moves in the last episode or the one before. I was using this to put people into like prayer mode, and they were just sitting down praying again. I spent a lot of time using this fire beam. It was wicked. I started with this magic spell, right? Defense spell got me through so much. You just pick and find what you like. Some obviously don't work as well. The lightnings weren't great, but you know, there's plenty of other things to choose from. You don't have to stick to that. So yeah, really good. Really enjoyed Wuchang. I'd happily play it again and go through. Bit gutted I missed some things. Bit gutted that I didn't get the final chisel. I'm a bit gutted, really, that I died at the end. I got stabbed by the old guy. Would have been nice to have a good ending, but hey, I had a good time playing, so that's all that matters. End of the day, it's not real, is it? Unless I become Wuchang. But yeah, recommend highly. I was so impressed, and yeah, play it. Let me know. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you want, what you want more of, and your playthrough as well. If you've played it, let me know how it's been. What do you think? If you want to ask me anything, I'll let you know. Tell you what I think about it, what I think you could do, or what you tell me I could have done. Gaming's for sharing, man. So thanks for watching. Yeah, my personal review. 10 out of 10.